looking for an abs workout or some work that you can do on your tummy, your core, your back that doesn't involve you lying down on the ground, then this is something you might try. I've put together a selection of 8 of my favorite standing core exercises, and they get progressively more challenging as we go through. You don't actually need any equipment at all, but there's a couple of them where you possibly might need either a cushion, a Pilates ball is something that you could use, and one of them in which we use a weight that you might pop under your chin. But you could use just a bottle of water or a tin of beans or something like that. So I'm going to start with the first one. And it's really, really simple, actually. A simple exercise that people often don't realize is really good for your abs. And that's high knee walking, like that, where basically you're bringing your knee up to tap either the ball, if you've got it there, or just your hands here. So as long as my upper body is not going backwards and forwards, my abs are getting a squeeze, a contraction when I do this. So I'm going to go through these exercises and do 10 of everything. And if you did that, that would be a nice sort of little movement snack that you could do at some point during the day, or you could use to do the 10 reps of each exercise and go through it 2 or 3 times. So standing abs, bringing your knee up like that is the first one. Okay, the second one, nice wide legs, toes are turned out slightly, fingertips to your temples, tummy pulled in nice and tightly. Really important that you breathe correctly here. What we're going to do are some nice side bends. So you get a little bit of squeeze going on here. So deep breath in, breathe out, and you squeeze and squeeze. So we've got nice side bends. My knees are not locked straight. They're just a tiny little bit soft, you can see. 4, 5, breathe out. 6, don't hold your breath. 7, and there's 8, and 9, and 10. And the thing to think about when you're doing that exercise is you imagine, if I stand sideways, that I've got a brick wall in front of me and a brick wall behind me. And if I lean forwards, my nose is going to bang against the brick wall. So you imagine that you're sandwiched in that very narrow space, and that helps your brain think about going sideways rather than any kind of forward tilt. Okay, so this next one is the one where you might want to have the weight, which goes sideways in your hands, under your chin. And now we've got our feet hip width apart. And this time, you're going to bring your knee up towards the opposite elbow. So now you'll notice a different area of your tummy working to do this. So weight here, and then we come up. Don't wait here, I mean your weight is here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hear me? Breathing out. Breathe out on the effort. Always, if we hold our breath, then there's a possibility that you're going to be putting more pressure on your pelvic floor, and we don't want that. Now, you could do this next one either with a weight or without a weight. Standing, slightly soft legs, feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and I've got my arms out in front of me. And all I'm going to do is make a rotation with my hands from side to side. So my hips are staying facing forward. So you can see I'm not doing this movement, my hips are fixed. Now you might choose to use that Pilates ball or a cushion or possibly a small weight. You don't want a heavy weight because the weight's away from you. Okay, so soft knees, hips fixed, which is always very difficult to say, and then we rotate from side to side. 2, 3, 4. Good, can you feel it? 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's 10. Well done. So it's a sort of standing Russian twist. Okay, now let's get a little bit more leg involved in this one. So we're going to do a sumo squat. That's when we go back to these wide legs again, but this time much more of a bend in, so your quads are working. Now if your knees are a bit dodgy, don't go too low or don't go at all. But if you can, then that's a nice thing to do. What we also need to make sure, I'll just turn sideways, that your knees haven't rolled in. So really important to think about your knees going out towards your middle toe on the side here. Okay, so now I've got my legs bent, there's a bit more going on already. And now I might be able to go a little bit lower over to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there you go, 7, much tougher this one, isn't it? 8, 9, and last one. There you go, there's 10. Woo, well done. Give your legs a shake. That's a good one. Okay, so now that Russian twist movement, but we're going to include a little bit of balance. So you're going to go into what's called a split squat. So once again, one leg in front and one leg behind, not too narrow, like this. And we're only going to go in the direction of your front leg. So I haven't got my weight, have my or my ball, but I'll just show you first. So we're going to take your arms out, only the direction of that front leg. Just grab my little Pilates ball because it's quite nice to have something to focus on. Okay, tummy pulled in nice and tight, and then twist. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget to breathe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's 10. Well done. Swap to your other leg. And now I'm going towards my right front leg, shoulders down. Fix a smile on it, always feels better with a smile. 1. You know that is really true. 2. When we smile, chemicals are released in your brain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 9, last one, and there you go, there's 10. Oh, well done. Now I'm going to keep my ball for this next one. This list is by no means exhaustive of ways to work your core standing up. It's just some of my favourites that I particularly like. There are all loads and loads and loads you can do. Now, this one is a standing ab crunch or squeeze. And if you're somebody who has had a dodgy Achilles in the past, one you may want to be a little bit careful with. The only reason I tell you this is because I know that there have been times where I've done this. Perhaps I've been teaching quite a few classes in a week and I've done it repeatedly. And by the end of the week, I think, Achilles is a bit dodgy. And that's just because of the position that you're standing in. So I've taken my right leg out behind me and my ball or my weight or just my hands, just fine with your hands too, are just out in front of you. And then what we're doing is putting your weight on your front leg so that this back leg is able to lift. And you're going to squeeze the ball or your hands in towards your knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There you go. That's one side. Kind of look like the wreck of the Hesperus this morning, don't I? I do apologise. I never look like one of those people who's got all their makeup on looking beautiful, but I'm sure you don't mind because actually what we care about is your abs, not my face. Okay, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Get a bit of arm involvement on that one too. A little bit of a bingo wing crusher. So that's good. Okay, this, my friends, is the toughest. This is the toughest of all of them, and you may well be surprised at how tough this is. Just having a quick swig of drink. So if you did this set through 3 times, that will give you probably about 20 minutes of ab exercises. So you're going to want to drink and a little bit of a rest, probably 2 minutes rest in between each set before you start again. Okay, so here we are in the sumo squat again, nice and upright, fingers up to my temples. Now this elbow here is going to come across to touch that knee there. So you can see I'm twisting and folding up and across. Now you may not be able to reach that knee. 3, you may go on your way there and not quite reach. That's absolutely fine. Is that 4 or 5? I think that was 4, 5, 6. Now it's really tempting to get your elbow to come in and make sure you're getting there. 7, 8, 9. Hard, isn't it? And there we go. There is 10. Fantastic. So a little standing ab workout that you can try. Maybe pop that in at lunchtime. Shouldn't make you too hot and sweaty, or something that you can do when you've been sitting on a computer all day. Hope you enjoyed it. Do let us know.